All right, so we're going to get started here today on giving value. We're going to just jump right in so that we can get on with our day. I know this is in the middle of the day, so it's a little tough time for everybody, but so let's just jump right into it. Okay, so a lot of people, when they start with network marketing, we are all told to get on, if we really want to do it for the business, to get on social media, and that's absolutely true. Years ago, even 5 years ago, I don't know about 5 years ago, but like 10 years ago, networking and marketing was a lot more difficult and cost a lot more money. And here on social media, it's pretty easy and it's free. So that's a no-brainer to this is where you want to network and this is where you want to market yourself, right here on social media. So we're going to talk to the person who is working the business. All right. So whether you're new to marketing or new to network marketing, or if you've been here for a while, but maybe you still don't get the terms, if you're feeling burned out with following the trends and the algorithms, this is how to get yourself or someone new to branding, marketing, and networking the right way. My name is Sarah Calkins. This is a passion of mine, so I'm excited to be with you guys today. Now, the answer to getting started the right way is by being a giver of value. So you might have come across this term, you might not have, but a lot of giving value, free value, is what is encouraged on social media markets, even from the big companies. That's what they want. And why value? So if you have your PDF, if you have it printed out, or maybe if you have it on your phone or somewhere, or even if you're just taking notes, why value? This is your position on social media. And if you're giving free value, which we'll talk about what that is, it helps open up conversations, which is what we're looking for, and creates connections. So that's number one on your PDF. So that's what we're looking for in networking right there, is finding those connections and opening up those conversations to seeing if Plexus would be a right fit for them. Number two, it turns your cold market into a warm market. So if you're friending people in different groups, or if you're meeting people out and about and you're putting them on your social media feed and your friends, you're following them, you want to be a giver, not a taker. And if for example, like if you're posting, negative things, or if you're posting buy for me, buy for me, buy for me, or if you're posting, even I want to say very vague things, and no one can get to the heart of who you are, that's not going to warm up your market at all. And we're supposed to be constantly networking with the people around us, with the people on social media as well. So this is giving this free value is going to build up that cold into a warm market and helps you with those conversations. Now, one thing, that's number two. So number three, one thing with value is it's going to fill up their value bank. And that's with or without action on their part, which is very cool. So if you're pouring out into somebody, but they actually maybe won't do what your either, free advice or a recipe, or, a quick tip on how to do something, or even just educational information on the gut, they might absorb that and they might not do anything with it, but you're still filling up that bank of giving. And that's really important as we move them down through the funnel and the conversation. And number four, it helps you discover your current brand. And I'm saying current because right now you might be really good in personal development, and you might have so much to share. It's just like bursting out the seams, and that's what you want to talk about it. Awesome. Maybe you're newly pregnant and you want to talk about the ups and downs of pregnancy. Great. And maybe your kid just went off to college and you're telling like the real depths of sorrow of starting to become an empty nester, like if it's your first or your last kid to college. So this can apply to anybody. And also keep in mind, because this was something that I struggled with, that I felt like a brand, once I had it, it had to be that way for the rest of my life. It doesn't. So just keep in mind that what you're doing now, it might change in 6 months, depending on what is happening in your life. And that's okay. It's that fluid movement of branding, which is exciting. All right, so let's get on to what value. Let's get on to branding. I'm gonna see, I just check my notes to see if I missed anything. Oh, I did want to give an example of a value. So seeing how, and how that helps with your branding. So seeing how people in your current sphere right now engages in what you're posting, that's going to help you answer the branding question and engages positively, and you're seeing those conversations open up. For instance, let's say you kind of post your pictures of your dinners, and people might ask you for the recipe. And this might be just once a week. I'm not saying every day. I'm like once a week here. And you share the recipe with them. Boom. You've just given them free value. That was it. You have taken the time to give them a recipe and let them know that this was delicious. Or you send the recipe to the people. You can do it in a comment, or maybe you're going to private message them. And then you can add those people to contact in a few days. You add them in your calendar, contact them in a few days, and see if they made the recipe. Let them know your kids end up loving it, hating it. The dog ended up having it because nobody liked it. Maybe you wish next time you're going to add less salt or more veggies. Like you thought, oh, I could really add some veggies, hide those in there for some nutrition for myself and the kids. And they probably haven't made the recipe. They probably haven't. But this is going to open up a communication in that private message. And for you to come in and be like, oh, did you try it? If you didn't yet, you might want to try this, or don't do that. Or I posted that recipe, everybody. It was terrible. Don't make it. It looked really good. It tasted terrible. This is going to build a relationship with that person. This is what giving on social media looks like, and how it will help you build your network. Okay, so one quick thing before we continue with branding is Facebook and Instagram are looking for original ideas that spark conversation and engagement. And you can even find that. It's on like Facebook's mission or something like that. That's what they want. They want originality, which can sound really daunting, but don't worry, we're going to go over that. And because they want you on their app as long as possible, and they want you happy on the app, because if you're happy, you're going to engage. And so quick things to keep in mind is like using trigger words, which I'm not going to go over this on everything, but using trigger words like DM me, comment below, sale, buy, private message me. Those are actually trigger words that the algorithm will push your post down, because they know that whatever you're doing isn't original, and it's not going to spark conversation. So it's just interesting to keep in mind as you're typing things out. Will Facebook see this as something that is sparking conversation? Okay, so being original, there's nothing new under the sun. We know this. So let's go to what value branding. And number one is, what is exciting you right now? What excites you? I can tell you right now that cooking dinner does not excite me, but 6 months ago, I think I'd gotten some awesome cookbooks from the library, and I was really like doing this meal prep, and you cook once, eat all week type thing, and it was going great until the kids really didn't eat any dinners at all. But my husband and I loved it, and so I was going through like this great food time that would have been a good thing to share about all the good foodie things that we're doing. But right now, I'm like, I'm so done with cooking. You know how you go through those phases? So that would be not something good that I really want to keep talking about, because I'm like, well, we're having oatmeal again for dinner because I didn't plan very well and all of the ground beef and turkey were frozen. So, I mean, to be honest, that's also very vulnerable, and quite a few people could chuckle at that. And be like, been there, know how that feels, how you have great meal plans and you give your kids oatmeal, and man, that happened last night, and I'm a little annoyed now. I didn't take a picture and do a post about it. Maybe I'll have to save that for another time. But what is exciting you right now? And then also, what's exciting other people? Like, what do you see that is exciting your friends or your family, or people are talking about on social media that you feel like, oh yeah, I can get behind that, or I want to talk about that, anything like that. Kind of find out what's exciting you and what's exciting other people. Like food usually excites people. So that's why I'm talking about food a lot in this particular video. And then number 3 is, what is feasible for you? Because for me, I have a whole herbalist background, and like I have all these herbalist ideas, like I can make this recipe and that cream, and I can make this blend. But when I look at the time in my day, I realize that is not feasible for me right now. It could become feasible for me in 3 months or 6 months, but right now it's just not feasible. So I can share someone else's herbal recipe, or I can share someone else's content, which is okay to do because you're still adding value, and I can put my own words on that if I want. if I'm going to be sharing like a link or a picture, which we'll go over in a little bit. So do ask yourself what's feasible, because I will be challenging you to create some content for the next week based on what we've talked about today. And number 4, what sets you apart from the majority? This is confusing. What sets you apart from the majority but also connects? So being negative, it's a very easy thing to do on social media, and that would put you in the majority, but that's not going to connect you. That would put you in the majority, and it won't connect you to anyone. So posting pictures of your dinners, that's going to put you in the majority, but talking a little bit more, being a little more vulnerable about maybe your struggle with a picky eater, maybe your struggle with allergies, maybe your struggle that you never even liked this kind of food growing up or as a teenager, and you are learning how to like food again, and this is a good recipe, or you're willing to try this recipe, so that you are connecting to the audience, not just posting up, this is my dinner tonight, praise me type thing. You're giving out to them, because then someone else is going to get connected to you of, oh, well, everyone's posting pictures of their dinner, but wow, this post right here, I still am a picky eater. I really don't like this food and that food, and I know I should, but I don't. And this girl struggled and is struggling with that, but she's trying new things. I wonder if that's something I want to do. And that might not happen at that moment. They might even realize that they're thinking that, but over time, that's what will be put into their head if that's their struggle. And then you're giving them something. And it's not as much work as we don't have to make PDFs. We don't have to make a cajillion videos every single day for the rest of our lives if that's not what we want to do, because that might not be feasible for you, which is number 3. So that is how you can help kind of narrow down your brand. What excites you, what's exciting everyone else, what's feasible for you, and what will set you apart from the majority of posts that will connect you. All right, I didn't number those, but the next one on the PDF is be intentional. Being original in 4 steps. So here we go, being original. I just want to make sure that I have gotten everything for you. Yeah. Okay, before I move on to be intentional, I just wanted to bring some notes to some examples. So of the branding and the value. So for instance, if you want to look at some people in our team, 2 people I thought of, Liz and Amy, they're really great storytellers. And Kara as well, but I'm going to put her in a different section. They're good storytellers. I always look forward to their posts because I know they're going to tell something deep. It could be funny. It could be heartwarming. It could be a little sad. I really look forward to their posts. And then you have Lacey and Becky, or Rebecca Olden, and their encouragement with a challenge. Like, that Lacey's going to encourage, but she's also going to challenge you to do something that you might have been stuck doing. And I don't know, they're both, their posts are always good. Becky's always posting those as well. And then I thought of Amanda and Kara for amazing education. And I know Kara does a good job also with the storytelling as well. So if you want to check them out and see how their posts are, it's always nice. I like examples. So that's always a great place to look and see who's doing what. Another great for like diamonds is I know Brooke Hemingway. She has been on a live video kick right now, and I'm really enjoying what she's posting lately. So if you look at Brooke Hemingway and her things, those are all on Facebook that I can think of. And let's see. We talked about the cold market, talked about being connected. Okay, so now we're going to go on to being intentional. Being original in 4 steps. So your very first one is create, edit, or add wording. And I'm saying this because we have a lot of stories and educational things that we want to share about plexus, about gut health, about, those are the major things. Blood sugar balance, things like that. So we want to do it a smart way. And we want to remix it. So think of yourself, I heard this analogy and I love it. Think of yourself as a DJ. You're going to have 2 different songs and you're going to mix it. So you're going to take a story about someone who has suffered from food allergies, and you can either put in your words how your kids suffer, or they used to suffer, or you're so familiar with this because it's in the family or something like that. And or someone who suffers from food allergies, so you can just imagine this mom's joy and glee that her child knows herself or her child no longer suffers from food allergies. So and then you can share the wording with the picture below. But it's up to you to just change, to put in your own behind it, because your people who are your own thoughts behind it, because the people who are following you are going to be like, oh, I don't know why she posted that. I don't get it. So explaining a little bit to your audience of, oh, I'm posting this because this is why, and do a little bit of storytelling there. That really adds so much value to that post. So you can change up the wording. You can screenshot wording and pictures and post those and be like, you must read through these screenshots. This story is incredible by so-and-so, or I took this screenshot from this article, which was so good. I'm putting the article in the comments below, in the link. I'm putting the article in the link, putting the link in the comments so you can read more. And if you use someone else's words, you can quote them and use your own photo. So you can use someone else's wording and use your own photo. So also, if you're looking at researching gut health, you found a really good quote, and you, my mind would like for a minute. Oh yeah, so you have a really good quote, something that is about gut health, and instead of posting just kind of tons of wording, you could just post the wording in a picture of you and your kid, or just you, or your dog, or something that means something to you right then in that moment. So people who are scrolling, like, say, oh, okay, that's Sarah. Oh, what is she saying? Oh, something about gut health again. You know, like Sarah gut health, that connection there. And then you can put the link below, or you can quote like a Diamond or someone else's post. So that is with wording. Number 2, which we talked about a little bit, is photos, taking your own photos. It could be a photo of your bathroom. It could be a photo of your kitchen. It could be a photo of you. Get your photos out there. And another one you can do is graphics as well, and make your own. Now, something very interesting is that each graphic has its own IP. I believe it's the IP. And even if I save a picture off the internet, somehow that IP is attached to that, so that when I upload it, Facebook knows that I'm not uploading an original photo. So interesting how that works. So if you can use your own photos or add your own photo to another to a photo, I guess what I'm trying to say is take your own pictures or create a picture into a graphic. Just changing that up a little bit will make it seem original to Facebook or Instagram. My water's over there and I can't get it. Okay, so number 3, do live or pre-recorded videos. Make them really super short. I recently heard a woman's network marketing say she does 45-second videos so that she can use 15-second clips either in her stories or in even just live videos. So if you did a 45-second live video, even a minute-long video, just like story time, this is what happened. Or I just heard this great thing today. Like, it doesn't have to be 3 to 5 minutes. I struggle with keeping it that short. Very, very struggle. But I don't want to, if you want to do videos or live videos, don't put the pressure on yourself that you need to have a beautiful presentation. And number 4 is on being intentional, is spark conversations with your words, and also in the comments. Like, keep the conversation going in the comments, and then maybe bring it over to a private message. Ask questions in the comments even, but keeping that, like, I'm not just posting and walking away from this. Like, this is my original content, and I'm going to interact with it. I'm going to grab water, which means I'm going to put you down for a minute and grab my water. Okay. So we talked about remixing. Oh, here's a don't. Don't share your Plexus link on your post or in on the post, and don't share other links on a post, because usually that link is going to take people outside of Facebook, or it has a chance to. So Facebook doesn't like that. So they're not going to give you as much time on the algorithm for people to even see it, even friends and family that you interact with all the time. That will get pushed down. So if you're going to post a link or anything like that, you're going to post it in the comments below. I would also suggest not to be posting your Plexus link anyway in public, because you really want to know people's goals and help them get the right product, because you don't want someone to order from you some random product and be like, well, it didn't help. And you're like, well, what were your goals? What were you trying to do? You don't want that. All right, take a breather. Okay, so the next one is giving more. This is 4 E's here on your PDF. Being social. So in social media, if we're popping on it, we're popping on our phones, we're scrolling mindlessly. We're just taking. We're absorbing, we're taking, we're taking. Even if we're liking, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's precious. Oh, congratulations on your new baby. Like we're still just taking from that. That's not giving anyone anything. Except maybe the new mommy with her baby, because congratulations are fun. So on our little PDF here, with a little effort, that's your first E, engage. Engage with the people on your page. Hunt them out, search them out. If you're like, am I even friends with this person anymore? Go comment on their photos. More than 3 words I'm hearing now is that if you need to do more than 3 words on a comment, and in your comment on a post. I'm not sure why Facebook is doing that, and Instagram. I'm not sure which social media platform, but that's what I heard. 3 words. So start telling people that you are awesome, or thank you for sharing this recipe. Thank you for sharing this recipe. 6 words right there. Thanking them, laughing with them, connecting with them, engage with them on your own post, but also especially off the post. And that's going to take a little effort and intentionality there. Okay, so the other one is enlighten. E for enlighten, and then E, encourage, which I think I just covered all those. So you're going to take with a little effort, you engage, you enlighten, and you encourage. And think of that also on your own Facebook or Instagram posts, or in the stories as well. That's what you're going to be doing. You're engaging with people, you're enlightening them, and you're encouraging them, and you're educating them. Another E. Should have put that on there. Okay, let's see. Last one is content creation. I had this quote here on the PDF. Give your audience a way to connect and show you're a real person. It's by Michael Hyatt. And I completely agree with that. So let's create some content. The very first thing that you're going to want to remember is keep it bite-sized. And I said this before with the 1-minute video. Keep things small. And then you can, I don't want to say string people along, because I don't feel like that's the right wording, but you can bring people along with you on the journey, I guess you could say. So whether it's about food, like if you want to talk about food and how 1 week you want to talk about picky eaters and food, and you can just break that story down into sections and refer back, kind of like, I know bloggers do that. They do different, like, oh, if you want to hear more about that, go back to my blog here, and they have a link, and you're like, oh, I want to hear more about that, and you click on it and you read her story before that, and you're like, oh wow. So think of that in small bite size. So if you're writing out content, you're making a big note section about something you want to talk about it, and you're like, this is a lot. Sometimes that's okay. Like, don't say, Sarah says we can't have really good long posts. I'm definitely not saying that. But if you're on a general basis, try to keep something bite sized, and then you can bring people along for the ride. And do I have an example? I don't have one of that. Okay, so the number 2 on content creation is include others. So you're going to be sharing either other people's stories, or maybe sharing other people's blogs, especially if you're in groups. I know a lot of groups I'm in, there are at least 4 or 5 people with some sort of little blog that they're trying to grow. So if you're friends with them on Facebook, if you're networking with them in groups and you friended them, or anything like that, you want to see if you have anything of their value to share. Same thing on Instagram. If you're going to share someone's post in a story because you really like what they had to say. And so include others in that. You can include others in your photos as well. This is my fall down. It's when I'm at a place in an event. We were at my husband's cousin's birthday party last week, and I didn't even get a picture with the birthday girl. I got it with my kids and the birthday girl, so I could still post that. But I'm like, no, I want to include others, like that. I'm including people around me, and I'm posting about it, and I'm tagging them, and I'm not just behind the scenes, or I'm not just taking pictures of my kids all the time. I'm a real person too, and I definitely just love to give love out. Number 3 is, this is how you're going to do that. You're going to set aside, this is what I wrote down. So I want you to think about this question before you answer it, and you can leave it blank and do it later. But set aside, this is the blank part, 20 minutes daily to engage, because we talked about that, about engaging in others' posts. And another blank is 1 hour a week to create. Now, we can't just all willy-nilly, especially I know a lot of us are busy individuals, busy moms and whatnot, and we have other things going on. We cannot just sit down when we're on the toilet being like, oh, I need to post something. Or at the breakfast table being like, what can I post? I scroll through my photos. It's my phone in my hand. That's what I'm doing. It's just not going to work out, because that we'll have like 1 or 2 posts, maybe that week, maybe that month. It has to just be a wee bit of intention there. So if you sit down and say, okay, I'm going to sit down and spend 1 hour, like going back to food. What am I cooking this week? Oh, hey, that's a post right there. Am I going grocery shopping this week? Oh yeah, I am. That's another post right there. What did I get at the grocery store? Am I baking anything? Am I cooking anything to give away? So that, like, okay, look at that. So I just have to remember, put it in my notes, put it on the calendar, whatever you have to do. Take a picture at the grocery store, take a picture of your grocery cart, take a picture of your menu, or just type it out. Be like, this is what we're cooking this week at our house. Yeah. Sorry, again, I don't like it, because I'm like, oh, all the exciting things you could post. What else could you post about? I'm not going to give you a bunch of examples. If you want to talk examples, reach out to me after, and we could definitely talk about that. But what you're going to create in that time is you're going to create wording. So you're going to have a little note section. You're going to make a folder. It's going to be called Posts for Facebook and Posts for Instagram. And you're going to have day 1, day 2, day 3. You're going to put those posts in. You can be like, picture of menu, picture of grocery cart, picture of a meal that we have made, picture of empty plates, picture of dirty dishes, picture of my child crying because they decided all of a sudden that they don't like to eat XYZ and they have loved it their entire lives. That might be a story one, but that would be, people would chuckle because they get it. Picture of you trying a new food that you don't like. I mean, it's a lot of things there. So also you can create graphics. If you're like, you know what, I love this quote, but I can't find a really good graphic for it anywhere. Go onto Canva and be like, I'm going to spend, 10 minutes. I have about 7 quotes here. I'm just going to throw these quotes all together, and they're all going to be like same background, different wording. And then gather, and then you want to have a place to, oh yeah, no, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So that's what you're going to do for creating content. And then number 4 is find a place to keep it all organized. So I use an app called the Preview app. I should say I have an app called the Preview app, and it works very well. Sometimes though, when I don't make the effort, I do not use it. I don't know if they have one on Android, but this is what it looks like. Boop. Right there. On Apple, it's called Preview, and you can either choose Facebook or Instagram unless you want to pay for it, which I don't. I use the free version, which only allows me 1 social media network, and I can put all my wording on there. I can save hashtags onto it, and I can pull up my photos and put it on there. And so I can then just hit post to Instagram, and it pops up the Instagram app for me with the wording, with the photo. I can put a filter on it if I haven't done so already, and just post it. Which if you're sitting there for your 1 hour and you're creating that, oh good, you have it all created already. You've already put that into the Preview app. So you just hit, it's Monday, this is Monday's post, Tuesday's post. Otherwise you're gonna look at in your photos having folders for your pictures of the week, which means you're gonna have to be intentionally deleting the pictures out when you're done with them and putting new pictures in. And wording, usually I just use notes for that. And also I use notes to save my hashtags as well. Okay, number 5, we're going to talk, number 5 and number 6 are easy. So number 5 is quality posts, and number 6 is quantity stories. So the more, it's so interesting, and it's social media, so this could change, but they want you to have less posting on like an actual post of your feed, and they want more in your stories. Because they want your feed to be more polished and conversational, and they want your stories maybe to be more the chuckles or the quick moments that we want to forget about, like that kind of thing. Like the picture of, and this is the picture of my meal. It's on my Instagram. The meal is so beautiful with this beautiful plate and this napkin. And then your stories, you can take a picture of your sink and the 47 dishes it took to make that meal. And it's just, you have connections on both sides because people love to see the beauty of the meal and the plate, and it's so beautiful. But people also want to see the true story, the backside, the behind the scenes look, which is all the dishes that have to get done. But it's a blessing to be able to cook our own meals and having a sink and running water with that. Anyway, okay, so that kind of wraps things up. I wanted to give an example of, because I didn't touch on this. Oh, this is back to sharing, which was where? Sharing, include others. That was number 2. So this could also include, if you're including others, like when you read a book, fiction or nonfiction, talk about your book, tag the person who wrote the book, hashtag their book. If their book has their own page, mark that in there. Links. Oh yeah, I said like this blogger's awesome, giving love to other people, putting that link below in the comments, maybe just taking the wording from it and being like, this is what so-and-so said and I loved it. Read the rest in the comments. Audiobooks, if you listen to an audiobook, same thing with a regular book, be like, oh, this audiobook is so good. And you could do a post about that. You can, in your stories, you can post about how fast you're getting through the audiobook or how slow. And if you're learning anything along the way. Podcasts too. You can post about all the podcasts that you listen to and what good nuggets that you found. I've had so many people recommend so many different podcasts to me that I can't even keep them straight, and I can't even listen to them all because they're so good, and they have such good, like, I've medical ones, alternative medicine ones, motherhood, spiritual, mindset, business, network marketing, business, another mindset one. Yeah, so you can always be talking and commenting about those as well. This also is your favorites, your favorite restaurant, your favorite nail polish, your favorite dish towel, your favorite thing you just bought from Target, your favorite Kindle, your favorite tea, your favorite coffee, your favorite, it could be like a new favorite, it could be a staple, like I've loved this brand of coffee for the last 17 years. It's the best. I go dark. I don't know anything about coffee. So, but like you can talk about that. And it might just be Dunkin' Donuts for up here in the Northeast, but it might be a local person, a local coffee shop that grinds the coffee for you. And favorite shampoo, favorite go-to meals when you don't defrost the turkey and beef in time and you have to make oatmeal. That is my go-to meal when for emergencies. It also is my breakfast meal for my kids most of the time. And then your favorite shops, whether local or online, give them love. So that's with including others, a bunch of things you can talk about in there. And another one with creating content, because you are trying to create those conversations in your quality posts, you can ask questions inside that post. So for instance, if you look up journaling prompts, you can go on Pinterest and look them up. There's a bunch of them. And pick and choose what kind of prompt that you think would work well for your friends and your family and your audience that you have right now. And that will help you. That can also help with your brand as well. Like every Monday, I post some sort of motivational quote. But then on Tuesday, I ask a question that kind of was related to that quote from the day before. And you can even do that in your stories because they have a little question box, like to answer the question. So there's loads of things. And if you look on content creation on Pinterest and on Google, you'll find many, many things. And then don't get overwhelmed because that is the problem. We do live in an over-information overload. So stick with, like, pick 3 things that you want to focus on. Oh, and in the PDF, there is a calendar. So this calendar was shown to me by Rebecca Alden. And let's see if I can share this because I thought it was just fantastic because it really helps taking the guessing out. And I feel like that is a big kind of blocker. It stops us. So this is in, if you got the PDF guide, this is in the PDF guide. And look here, she has share a personal story or a motivational quote, or what are you currently reading? These are not all the things she posts in one day. To my knowledge, I don't think that's right, Becky. I think you just can choose 1 or 2 or 3 off of this. And I just thought that was just a fantastic way to just know exactly what you're going to put out there. So she just made this, and it looks like in her notes. And if she's like, okay, it's Tuesday, what am I posting? It's already there for her. If you're making content beforehand, you can put in what content you're going to put in on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. And it just takes that guessing out, which is what we'd like to do. We'd like to make this easy for everybody and practical in our busy day-to-day lives. So let's see. We talked about groceries and food. We can do a live on your grocery haul. I've watched so many of those. I'm like, ooh, what did that person get on in their grocery haul? And let's see. Okay, so I just want to give this example for a live video. So you can talk about gut health in the live video. You can read Plexus stories word for word in the video, and maybe share the picture if you have like an iPad or like a separate device. Be like, this is, my friend Anna, and this is her story, and then read her story. You can share something silly that happened that day, or something ridiculous your kid did, or how motherhood changes from early mornings to late nights as your kids get older. You can use a feel, felt, found method with basically anything on a live video. One that just came to my head, and I wrote it down because I thought, oh, this is actually a really good idea. So I used to feel so annoyed with picking out clothes for myself every single day. I felt like it was such a waste of time, and I just never really got ready for the day. My kids needed me right when I got up, so it was just made no sense to me to just have to struggle to pick out some clothes. I just had so many, and half the time they ended up on the ground or on the chair because or on the chair. So then I meant to Google her name before I said this, so I apologize. Marie Kondo. The she is the one that pares everything down. It's like, if it doesn't spark joy, get rid of it. So I used her method for my wardrobe and my dressers, and it has gotten so much easier to get ready in the morning. I also found that when I was consistently bloated, I used to need like 3 to 4 different sizes, which made getting ready in the morning even more discouraging. So not having to deal with bloat anymore, thanks to my nightly supplement routine, has really helped with paring my clothes down. I was able to donate 3 huge black bags of clothes, and now it only takes me 3 minutes every day to pick out an outfit, and I know that it'll fit me every time. It's such a good feeling starting my day positive with a little win before I even leave my room. And that could be a very quick live. And when I was talking about bite-sized, you could say that story, and the next day you could go live and be like, hey, do you want to see what's in my dresser drawers? I want to show you how everything fits so nicely. Because while you could do that all in one live video, it would just be very long. You might lose people. And again, you can take people along for the journey. And you can say, not everyone is on at the same time. So if the next day you go on at a different time or earlier or later, you can say, listen to my video yesterday about how I got started on doing this concept and how it's helped me so much. And you can bringing in, like, I used to be bloated, but now I'm not anymore because of my nightly supplements. That really helped people get curious. Wow, Sarah's giving me free value on this Marie Kondo girl and her cool idea of paring down my wardrobe. Wow, Sarah's talking about bloating. Oh, she's talking about having like 3 or 4 different sizes in her closet. Oh, I totally get that. Oh, she doesn't have that issue anymore? Oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder why that is. Oh, she's like, I wonder if that plexus stuff she talks about, like, it's going to spark that interest. So that, my friends, is how to give value. And I would love to hear what you've gotten from this, and just relax with it. Like, it's a lot of information, but relax. This will be fun. It will, because this is going to give you confidence. This is going to build connections and create conversations. You are instructing, you're educating, and also this really covers all the colors. If you know anything about the 4-color personality, It's going to cover that with the educational side, with the giving side, with the organizational side, with connecting, people seeing you face to face, people getting to know your personality through your posts or through videos or through both. So that's all I want to talk to you about today. I really hope you've gotten something from this, and this really can help you just tweak, even just slightly tweak how and what you post on social media. It could make a world of difference. It could make reaching out to new people and finding people on groups to connect with and be like, could we even be friends? It will make you feel less maybe salesy, like, oh no, I'm just friending her because I want to be friends because I want to sell her something. You're like, no, I want to be friends with her because she's a young mom like me and she probably struggles like I do with certain things. And I talk about young mother stuff on my page all the time. Or, oh, I want to friend this person because she has a lot of information and I love her blog and I really want to be connected and not miss anything. I really feel like it takes out that mindset. It just is like, this is it. I'm going to be giving to these people, and I'm going to get closer to them, and it's going to be so fun. And that's my blue personality coming out right there. So have a great rest of your Saturday, or whenever you're watching this. If you have any trouble with the PDF, I should have said this in the beginning, please just message me. I'm Sarah Sunshine Calkins, and I will make sure I send that to you as soon as I can. And have a great day. All right, bye.